Welcome to Villainous News. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more informative videos. Massachusetts town approves voluntary lockdown after dark, as fears of incurable mosquito-borne infection grow. Residents in a Massachusetts town are being urged not to leave their homes after dark due to the spread of a deadly mosquito-borne virus. The Board of Health in Oxford, a city of 13,300 people, about 50 miles southwest of Boston, has set an outdoor curfew to reduce the chances of people being bitten by mosquitoes that carry Eastern equine encephalitis, EEE. It comes after a resident was the first human to contract the rare and untreatable illness known as triple E, domestically in nearly 4 years. Triple E causes a fever and brain swelling and can lead to seizures and comas. 1/3 of people infected with EEE die, and those who recover are often left with lifelong physical and mental difficulties. The Board of Health urges everyone to stay indoors after dusk. This isn't a mandate, but a strong recommendation to dodge the virus's bite. The stakes? High. Triple E causes brain swelling, seizures, and in severe cases, death. One bite is all it takes. The dusk curfew, which falls around 8 p.m. in Massachusetts, is only a recommendation, not a rule, but town officials are hoping it will push people inside before peak mosquito hours, reducing risk of exposure. While not a requirement, the local school district will be enforcing the curfew, meaning after-school programs and sports may be canceled, ended early, or moved indoors. Something many parents, students, and athletes are taking issue with. Nearly 1,000 Oxford residents have signed an online petition to keep sports fields open. Oxford Webster football and cheer vice president Josh Ziemski said at the meeting Wednesday, "Being heard is our #1 goal. Let us decide. I'm a parent, I coach my son, and yes, if things happen, I can take precautions." And 2 sisters on the cheerleading squad are afraid the curfew will impact their season. One of them, Aria Fournier in 8th grade, told local CBS, "This is my last year as a cheerleader on this team, and it would be really upsetting if I missed out on it." Her mom, Sarah, added, "The numbers don't require the drastic actions they're trying to take." An Oxford Little League president, Philip Davis, said, "We think the parents should be able to make decisions as parents, for our kids, for the well-being of our kids." But Public Health Director Reich Sterritt told attendees, "We don't want to see another human case of EEE this year. One is already too many. Even if you do survive, usually there are severe health impacts, neurological impacts." Town officials clarified on Facebook, "This evening the Board of Health met for the first time to be updated by the Director of Public Health since the town of Oxford, along with 3 bordering communities, were being placed at critical risk for EEE or Eastern equine encephalitis." The memorandum clearly states that all private town leagues can continue to opt to play beyond the DPH recommendations, and those jointly adopted by all 4 towns that are at critical status. No one is banning fields for use by private leagues and never stated such. For anyone seeking to play outdoors beyond the recommended curfew, they will need to contact the town for further information. Officials have not released the location or identity of the man infected, but have said he is in his 80s, lives in Oxford, and contracted the illness last week. The EEE risk level has been escalated to critical in 4 cities and increased to moderate in 9 others. A memo published by the town of Oxford said a family member of the infected, who is hospitalized and courageously battling this virus, has reached out to officials several times because they want people to be aware this is an extremely serious disease with terrible physical and emotional consequences, regardless if the person manages to live after contracting the virus. They want residents to take the public health recommendations regarding prevention measures of contracting this virus seriously. The memo also states that a horse infected with EEE in neighboring Connecticut has died from the virus. There were 12 human cases of EEE in Massachusetts in 2019, and 6 people died. In 2020, there were 5 human cases and 1 death. There were no cases or deaths in each year from 2021 to 2023, according to Massachusetts Department of Public Health. EEE symptoms typically begin within 4 to 10 days of being bitten with an infected mosquito, according to the CDC. Most people infected do not display symptoms, but those who develop serious cases will experience fever, chills, body aches, and joint pain. For mild cases, recovery takes about 1 to 2 weeks, and people will likely recover completely if the infection does not affect the central nervous system, the CDC added. However, people with serious cases can develop meningitis, swelling of brain and spinal cord, or encephalitis, swelling of the brain. These symptoms include fever, headache, vomiting, diarrhea, seizures, behavioral changes, drowsiness, and even coma. There is no specific treatment for EEE, but doctors will provide supportive care to manage symptoms, such as pain medications and hydrating fluids. For the approximately 33% of people with EEE who die, death typically occurs about 2 to 10 days after onset of symptoms. For people who survive, they are left with brain damage and ongoing disabilities that require long-term care. They may die within a few years after recovering from the initial infection, the CDC added. Only a handful of EEE cases are reported in the U.S. every year and are most often in eastern or Gulf Coast states. So far in 2024, 2 additional human cases of EEE have been reported in 2 other states, Vermont and New Jersey, and all 3 U.S. patients have developed severe neuroinvasive cases. A record 38 cases were reported in 2019. Experts are concerned that the rise in temperatures, humidity, and rainfall could lead to an increase in the virus. The virus is only spread from mosquito to human and horse, and there is no human-to-human or animal-to-human transmission. To protect yourself against EEE, a public health advisory from the town of Oxford recommends wearing long sleeves and long pants, preventing standing and collecting water, which act as mosquito breeding grounds, applying insect repellent, and avoiding peak mosquito hours from dusk until dawn. Protect yourself. Wear long sleeves, use insect repellent, and avoid peak mosquito times. This isn't just about inconvenience, it's about life and health. Let's stay safe, Oxford. And now, here's Snowman with the sports report.
Well, the West is always been about the Kansas City Chiefs. Does that change at all this year? Maybe, maybe not. What do the Raiders do at quarterback? Can they do anything at quarterback? Bo Nix is now the leader of the Denver Broncos, and he's under the tutelage of one Sean Payton. How does that pay off? And as far as the Chiefs go, well, you already know the answer. Let's go. Welcome to our final preview for the 2024 NFL season, and it's the AFC West, which has been ruled by a bunch of Chiefs. Will they do it again? Odds on the answer is yes. But let's take a look at the other teams in the division. We'll start in Las Vegas and take a look at the Raiders. Are these the same old Raiders? They don't have a quarterback unless you count Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell is slated to get the start at the quarterback position, even though they did sign Gardner Minshew. They lost a big piece of their offense in Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs was the leading rusher for the Las Vegas Raiders for 3 of the last 4 years. Why did they let him go? Who's going to tote the ball for him? More to the point, who's going to catch the ball from Aiden O'Connell? A better point, is Aiden O'Connell the long-term solution at quarterback? And do you bring the spirit of Al Davis back and repair the defense, or do you just rebuild it, or do you just tear it down and start from scratch? Many a question with the Raiders. Let's go to Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Chargers, and I knew I'd say San Diego Chargers. Justin Herbert is the man in charge of that Charger offense. But they too lost a lot of weapons. In particular, they lost Austin Eckler, their running back, and they also lost Keenan Allen, their 31-year-old wide receiver. Who takes their place? Does Justin Herbert actually get to complete a season? It's going to depend on the offensive line that the Chargers put together. And knowing the fact that you got to see the Chiefs twice, the Raiders twice, and the Broncos twice, who are all going to put a big bullseye on Justin Herbert's back, it's best that the Chargers build that offensive line, and it's a common theme that I've said all along, inside out. Biggest question for Justin Herbert, who's it going to turn and hand the ball off to? You don't have Eckler. All right, where do you go from there? You don't have Keenan Allen. Where do you go from there? Who takes the place of those two big pieces in the Chargers offense to get them even close to the AFC West championship? And also, an interesting question for me, how do you draw up fan interest? Because every home game by the Chargers was out, the visiting team's fan base was louder than the Chargers fan base. How do you drum up interest in a team that's not even supposed to be playing at SoFi Stadium? Yet here they are. Getting ready to field a team for another season. Here they are with a new head coach and Jim Harbaugh getting ready to take a chance and a shot at the AFC West title. Let's go out to the Mile High City. This is the most interesting story in the division. Does Bo actually know for the Denver Broncos? Well, Sean Payton does. He had Drew Brees for 16 years, mentored him, got him under his tutelage, brought a Super Bowl title. I'll do a thought about that a little bit later. But is this the answer for the Denver Broncos? Is Bo Nix, the 6-year college football player and the son of Patrick Nix, Auburn legend, is he the answer for the Denver Broncos? Of course, you know I spoke all about offense during all of our previews, and of course it starts up front with the offensive line having to keep Bo Nix healthy, keep him upright, keep him standing tall in the pocket to make his deliveries. I think he's a good choice for them. I think he is the good quarterback for them. Now, can he turn into what only Peyton Manning and John Elway were before him? That's a franchise quarterback. And last but not least, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. Wash, rinse. Do they repeat and become the first team to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls? It just seems like the rich get richer. And it was proven in the draft when they decided to, draft speedster Xavier Worthy out of Texas. Xavier Worthy, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, all in that offense. Yikes. And they return every member of their offensive line. They return Chris Jones on defense. Again, is it a case of wash, rinse, repeat for the Kansas City Chiefs? Let's review. Are these the same old Raiders with Aiden O'Connell at quarterback, an unknown quarterback at that? For the Chargers, can they finally turn super under Justin Herbert? A lot has to be said with Jim Harbaugh being the coach there who coached the 49ers to a Super Bowl and a couple of NFC championships. For Denver, the rebuild continues, but does Bo know what to do in that offense? Sean Payton has a rookie quarterback under his tutelage. And of course, we got to stop in Arrowhead Stadium. Is it a case of wash, rinse, repeat for the Kansas City Chiefs? That's our division previews, and that'll wrap them all up. Hope you enjoyed them all. Hope you commented on them all. Who comes out of the AFC West? Do the Chiefs take it again, or do we have a surprise? Make your comments down below. My name is Brian Snow. Hope you enjoyed our NFL preview. We will be back with you throughout the course of the NFL season. And each week here on Villainous Sports News, you will see yours truly give you the best, the latest, and the brightest in the world of sports. For now, Brian Snow, so long, everyone.